What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'll be your host and producer, Logan Landers, and join me here this afternoon to talk about the SMU Mustangs, currently ranked 6-1, and the number 22 team in the nation, going on the road to face off against the Duke Blue Devils, who come into this matchup currently 6-1 in the ACC, not too shabby themselves. They are not ranked. It's going to be a good matchup, Jay. SMU versus Duke. Of course, Jay McLovin, my co-host today from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
Fair to middling. Did be
Hanging
a lot
in there.
better if Texas would have won. But that's okay.
It's all right.
Let's talk about a good game, though. I think SMU versus Duke. Again, you can watch that on the ACC network. I don't know why they put these things on those ACC. I guess they want all the money.
Everyone's got their own network.
Crazy to me, but that's a 7:00 start time. But yeah, I got number 22 SMU, ranked number 22 versus Duke, and both of those teams are 6-1. And I gotta tell you, man, Duke took a loss to Georgia Tech, 24-14. That was their only loss. But man, why did Georgia Tech of all teams to lose to? I mean, it's weird. But that's why I think SMU is a little bit more impressive because they do have a loss as well. But it was a very tight game against ranked BYU, 18-15. So, SMU really has a good squad right now over there. I got to be honest with you. They got quarterback Jennings. Who hasn't really got a whole lot under the belt, right? He's at 97 of 147, 1336, but he's got 9 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. So he does take care of the ball really, really well. Murphy doesn't take care of the ball quite as good, but he's not doing bad at 137 out of 232 passes at 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So he doesn't take – so I think Jennings is going to have the edge there. Obviously, look at the run game. Again, I think they had the edge as well. And Smith at 91 carries at 628 and 7 touchdowns compared to Thomas over there for Duke, who's carried the ball 134 at 616 yards and 4 touchdowns. So it seems to me, they don't really have the edge so much in the run game because they don't pass as often. I think, Duke is a little bit more run heavy than what SMU is, but when you look at the touchdowns, they got 7 compared to 4. So that I think that's the difference maker right there. We talked about this in pre-show. Russell Maryland's son. I don't remember what was Russell. What's his first name?
RJ Maryland. Jay. He's not just going to be out for this game. He's going to be out for the rest of the season due to an injury to his leg. So that is a big blow for the Mustangs.
That is a huge blow for them guys, because that's their leading receiver right there. He's got 24 catches, 359 yards, and 4 touchdowns, whereas Moore for Duke, their leading wide receiver, has 31 catches at 453 and 3 touchdowns. So, them not having Maryland, that's a big, big loss to that SMU squad. I don't know if they're going to be how they're going to supplement that amount of production that he has. So it's going to be interesting to see who picks up the ball and carries it forward. No pun intended. But, you look, like I said, I talked about, their losses and things like that. The last time these guys met, Logan, was 1956. Ooh. That's how long it's been. And they only even played each other twice in that time. And Duke has the edge on both of those wins. So Duke got both wins. So SMU is still looking for their first win against Duke, and it's been a long time coming. So I think that might give them a little bit of an incentive going into today's game. Again, Duke's defense has got to step it up against the high-powered offense of SMU, even though they are going to be without Maryland. So that could bode in their favor. They'll have one less person they got to worry about, I guess. Duke's defense gives up about 17.3 points a game, and they give up about 300 yards a game. So SMU's going to have their work cut out for them because Duke's defense, which is their best part of them, is very stingy. Georgia Tech, like I said, they took out Duke with their run game. So that tells you right there that Smith has got to carry the rock a lot more because of Maryland not being there, because Duke is susceptible to the run. Duke has SMU today, and then they got Miami next week. Both wins. They need really both wins to stay in the hunt in the ACC. So Duke doesn't exactly have the easiest of schedules. But can Duke's offense sustain key drives versus SMU? That's going to be the key, is can they sustain those drives? And that's probably going to be one of the biggest matchups right there is going to be Duke's offense against SMU's defense. And SMU is going to need that defense, like I said, with Russell or RJ Maryland being out. SMU has a tough run defensively. They allow 2.64 yards per carry, and Duke averages 3.479 yards per carry. So the second key for this game for Duke, number one, your defense has to show up, and number two, Thomas has got to get going. If Thomas doesn't get going, then they're going to have a really tough time trying to get this win. They also lost their tight ends as well, Logan. Duke lost Nikki Dalmelin. Say that name's right, and Jeremiah Hazley. Both of those guys got lost. Their tight ends got lost to leg injuries. So the wide receiver Duke Jordan, wide receiver for Duke Jordan Moore is also injured. So they got some big injuries over there in Duke as well. SMU's not the only one. Duke player to watch, in my opinion, is going to be Alex Howard, the linebacker. He's a great playmaker. He's got 7.4 tackles a game, 11 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks, Logan. So really, I think Duke, Thomas is going to be a key player. And I think on the defensive side, Alex Howard is going to be a key player if Duke wants to take out SMU. SMU quarterback completed 66% of his passes, and Duke. So that's the key, Logan. I think it's going to be who's going to step up in Maryland's spot, and can Duke defend the run, and can they also get pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, it's this game.
I'm my predictions. I'm gonna predict 21-13. No, 21-13 in favor of SMU.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a lot closer now with now that we've learned that RJ Maryland is going to be out for this game as well as the rest of the season, which is not good news if you're an SMU Mustangs fan. He basically, in a sense, single-handedly got them their win opening night against Nevada, right, when he had 162 yards. So that's a big blow, right? When you're SMU, you have to rely on your other receivers now, being Jake Bailey, Keyshawn Smith, and Dixon as well. Those guys have got to carry a load here. So we'll see if they can get that. As for the rest of this team, as you said, Kevin Jennings, the quarterback for the SMU Mustangs, right? 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, over 1,300 yards on the year, and a solid 66% completion percentage. I think he might have to be a little bit more active and just get the rest of his guys involved now that his number one target is not on the team. Now, looking at the running game, you said Brashard Smith. He is a really solid player. 7 touchdowns on the year for the young man, close to 7 yards per carry and over 600 yards. So that is another factor of who is going to have to really just up their game even more. And he's already doing great, but if you can just really take it to the next level, that's how SMU stays ranked, and that's how they keep winning, and that's how they could win this game against Duke. Rest of the ball club, though, another thing too, Jay, when I was looking over this roster, something that you do need to be on the watch out for that could always come to effect if it is a tight game. Like I said, you have a closer game maybe than some. But if it's even closer, right, if it's a tie game, if it's a 3-point game, watch out for the kicking game of SMU, Colin Rogers. He's perfect on extra points. I would hope he would be. But watch out for the field goals, Jay. Only 14 of 19 on the year. That's only 73%. So odds are, if it does get a little bit hazy, right, anything from 40-plus could be a little bit iffy. He's missed 1 from 40 to 49, but if it's 50-plus, 6 of 9. So still kind of iffy. I get there in college, but you just something to look out for if you are an SMU fan. Got to get some good field positioning for your kicker. Looking at the rest of this team, though, something that they are going to have to really get going if they want to keep winning and if they want to improve on their impressive year. They've got 16 sacks, 4 of those coming from Isaiah Smith, the other 3 coming from Jafari Harvey. And Elijah Roberts also getting some work in there as well. And then when you look at the secondary, they've got 12 picks on the season. So they got some Hawks out there in the back end, Jay. So they are doing good against, hopefully, Malik Murphy, a name that you know very well, being a UT fan, someone who was at the program. And Murphy, so far, 1,500 yards on the year. Not bad at all. 14 touchdowns, 5 picks. Only been sacked 8 times. I would say that's a pretty productive year. with Duke, like you said, their only blemish on the year is a loss to Georgia Tech, who Georgia Tech is, I would say, very much a roller coaster type of team. Well, they'll look great against the team one week, and then the next week they'll look like a completely different ball club. So the win against Duke, that was when they were at their highs, but then sometimes they can go against their lows and kind of be their own worst enemy in a sense. But when you look at Duke, it really depends on Murphy, what he can do. Like you said, they've already got some injuries to their receiving game as well. But it's time, Jay. It is time for Star Thomas to be what his first name is, and that's be a star. You got to step things up. You have to get things going here. 134 carries, 616 on the ground, 4.6 and 4 touchdowns. You got to get over that 5, if a 5 per average. You got to get it going here if Duke has any chance of winning this ball game. Rest of this ball club, though, also Tom Pelino, the kicker for Duke, has missed 3 field goals this year as well. All 2 of the 3, Jay, came from 40 to 49. So his just something to look out for, because you never know. Yeah. Everyone just kind of glosses over the kickers, but until it's too late. Now, where Duke can win this ball game, I feel, Jay, is by getting pressure on Jennings. They have 24 sacks through 7 games.
Jeez.
That's
3 sacks a game.
Yeah, they are just dialed in, right? They've got the crosshairs lined up, and they're going after the quarterback as much as they can. A lot of really good players there. Linebacker Alex Howard leads the way in terms of sacks with 5, followed by Vincent Anthony Jr. and Wesley Williams. Both those gentlemen have 4, and Aaron Hall, the defensive tackle, has 3 sacks on the year. So they can get to the quarterback with the best of them. Also have 6 interceptions on the year, which is not bad at all. So they are going to have to, I think if Duke wins this game, it's going to be on the defense more so kind of really being that turning point, I think, than the offense. But I think for me personally, Jay, in this one, I think this is going to be a close ball game with the unfortunate news about R.J. Maryland, as we know, the son of Dallas Cowboys, great former #1 overall pick, Russell Maryland, being out for now the season. Wish him the best in his recovery. But I will go with SMU getting the win this game, remaining ranked. But I'll go close game this one, Jay, 23-20. Final score in this one for me. I think SMU escapes in this matchup here in the ACC. But we want to hear from you, though, our fans. Who's going to win this ball game? Will it be SMU? Will it be Duke? Drop it in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you want to check out any of our other work, go over to Facebook and YouTube. And go check out what me and Jay got going on at the Elite Sports Entertainment Network. A little bit of everything over there each and every single week. So until next time, we'll talk to you all again on another live episode. We'll see you later.